Hello and welcome to Shop Talk with Dan the Man. In today's video, we're going to talk about refinishing furniture. So stay tuned to find out more. Hello, if you're new to this channel, my name is Dan Shannon. I enjoy woodworking as a hobby and being out in the shop. On this channel, dive deep into my shop as we explore tools and tool reviews, as well as chatting about everything related to woodworking. If this grabs you by the tool belt, please subscribe to my channel if you want more videos like this. Welcome back to Shop Talk with Dan the Man. In today's episode, we're going to show you how to resurface and refinish a desk. So this desk here we just bought on a used site for different products, in this case a desk. And so this desk has a drawer as well as some shelving on the side, and of course your worktop for doing different things that you would on a desk. So I'm going to show you step by step how this product gets from start to finish. I do have the original photo of this when it first showed up, and of course I'll do a side by side at the end of this video. So when it comes to anything made out of wood, there's multiple steps from bringing it from the original well used right to a finished looking product. So where do we start when it comes to a desk? Obviously this doesn't look that great, so it needs lots of restoration to bring it back to its original or close to the original product. So stay tuned, we'll show you some steps on how to restore this. First thing you're going to want to do with this desk is remove the original layer. So a lot of times these older desks or any wood product will always have a coating on it, whether it's paint, a clear coat, some sort of a stain. So in order to bring this back to the original contrast for the wood, and then of course prep it for some other product, whether it's paint again or a stain or a clear coat, you need to remove your outside layer. So how do we do that? Well, first you're going to need a pair of gloves, and then second you're going to need a product that is capable of removing that layer. So in this case, this is called a new generation of stripper. So it's called a super remover, and this is a gel form. So back in the day it was more liquid. Now technology's come a long ways, just like everything else, and now they sell a gel form. So what you want to do is with your gloves apply a bunch of circles of this stripper, and you want to do a nice even coating over top of your project. Now I would encourage you, depending on the surface, move your desk accordingly. So if you're doing this side surface, you would flip it just so it's not running down. Then you would apply your gel stripper. Of course, make sure you have your gloves on again. And in order to move the gel around, you just want a disposable brush. It doesn't have to be anything nice, just be, something cheap. And you just want to move the gel back and forth until it covers the entire surface of the grain. And then it says on your can, you can look for the directions, but it says here you wait for 15 minutes. So once this has time to lift the surface, and you can see that it's working, that it's starting to lift the original off. And so you're going to want to take your brush, spread it around nice and even, and then wait the 15 minutes. And then after those 15 minutes, you're going to want to remove the thick layer on the top with this You can use really any size, but some sort of a scraper, or in this case, this is made for drywall. You just kind of just slide it up and kind of remove your outside layer. And then you're going to want to take the SOS pad and kind of give it a bit more of a detailed work into the grain. So your outside layer will come off quite easily, and then you just kind of use the SOS pad to work on it further. And once that's done, then we start on the next step. So the next step we're going to do is get the top sanded down. I'm going to use a belt sander and an orbital sander to finish the top, and then we'll go from there. So let's stay tuned for the next stage. Okay, so the next stage of this project, we're going to make sure we get the top layer down to the grain. So in order to do that, I'm going to first go over it with the belt sander, and there's different grades of sandpaper you can use for your belts. I'm going to start off with 80 and then work my way up to 320. So 80 being your more coarse grit, and then 320 of course being your softer grit to give it that polished look. I'm also going to use my orbital sander, and the pad on that, same idea. Start off with 80 and then work your way up to the 320. So I like to get most of the material off with the belt, and then of course switch to my orbital sander to give it more of a polished look. And yeah, I recommend buying these mesh pads. You can shake them out the dust. The paper ones don't last as long, so I would recommend buying these mesh ones. You know, Diablo, there's a bunch of different brands that make these, but Diablo is my favorite to go with. So I'm going to start into that, and you can watch me. I'll start into that now. So this sandpaper's kind of shot. I'm going to get another piece to start on the project again. Yeah, once you notice it's wearing out, just swap out your sandpaper and keep going. Alright, so I just swapped out my sandpaper, and I'm going to start again. So as you can see there, the difference, it's really coming along really well. So I'm going to keep going on this. I'm going to start on that side, and yeah, it's moving along just fine. Takes quite a bit of work to bring it, but obviously you can tell from where it was originally till now, it's definitely starting to show itself as a good project. So let's jump on the other side. All right, as you can see there's a huge difference in the surface. It was like an orangish color. Now it's starting to turn whitish. And now I'm going to take my orbital sander, put a new pad on it because this one's pretty rough. And yeah, work this in. All right. All right. All right, so that's it. I got a little bit more to do. As you can see, the border on this top surface with the rough sandpaper before I dive into a nicer sandpaper to finish it off. So what I like about these mesh sandpaper is you can just take it off, shake all the dust out, and it's good. So I guess this is equivalent to 10 paper ones, so I'd recommend upgrading. They're a bit more money, but in the long run you do save by using these. All right, so I'm going to keep picking away at that, and then of course I gotta do the side portion as well. So these 3 shelving units, I'm going to sand that down as well. So let's keep going. So I brought the desk up higher so I wouldn't be lower to the ground, a little easier on my back. And I'm going to start with these 3 shelves. So I'm going to see what I can do with the belt sander first and then move to my orbital sander. All right, so you can see there I'm making some progress. Obviously the belt sander won't get any further over, so I'm going to have to use my orbital sander, and the belt sander won't fit in to the top shelf, so I will have to use the orbital sander as well. All right, let's keep going. All right, you can see right there the progress from not being touched to touched. So it's coming along. It's looking similar to the top, which is what we want. It takes a lot of time to do sanding. So the end result is very nice, but there is a lot of effort that goes into making this changeover from the original to something new, and that'll look really nice when it's done. So let's keep going. These shelves are looking a lot better than they did. Now I'm going to take my multi-tool with the sanding attachment to get into my edges really nice, because as you can see I can't quite get into my edges with the orbital sander because it's round. So I'm going to use my multi-tool to get in there nice and tight to all my edges. Okay, so we're getting close to the end. I got the shelves done on the end. Now I'm going back over the top with 240 grit. So that's smoother grit than the 80 was. So I'm just going to polish this off, make it nice, and yeah, then we'll jump into our third step. So let's finish this. Before paint, so here's the desk all painted up. So that's the third stage. So if you remember, we did the gel stripper, and then we jumped into the sanding with a belt sander and an orbital sander for the shelving and the top. And now all we have to do is put the clear coat on the top surface and the shelves. So the product we're going to use for the clear coat is a varathane. So this particular varathane is a clear finish, a gloss, and it's water-based. So what that means is there's no oil, there's no issues with cleanup, which I really like. And it's the first time I'm trying this particular brand. And as well, I bought a brilliant finish brush. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this product to the wood, and I'll show you what that looks like at the end. Okay, so here we are with the clear coat applied to the 3 shelves and the top. I'll lean the desk forward to show you the top surface, how that looked. So as you can see, that turned out quite nicely on the top and the 3 shelving units. So that was the 4th stage of this project. This project took quite a while. I had my wife help me with some of the process just because of the time. She helped by stripping it with the gel stripper, and she actually did a coat of the white paint. So throughout this project I did need a hand, and she was kind enough to assist me with this project. So from start to finish, we had the original, then we stripped it down with the gel stripper, then we sanded it, the top and the 3 side shelving unit, and then from there we painted the white on the main part and the drawer, and then of course I finished off with a clear coat on the side shelves and the top. So all in all, this project did take us a while to do. It turned out quite nice in my opinion. Yeah, is it, is there some slight flaws to it? There is. It's not perfect, but at the end of the day, in comparison before and after, there is a big difference. And for what it's going to be used for, for my daughter, she's going to be writing on it and just doing some school projects, and she can put some of her toys kind of on the end there. So at the end of the day, it's perfect. And I just encourage you to get out in your shop and just build something, or redo something. So it could be a shelf, could be a toy, really could be anything. Really anything that you want to turn around and repurpose. I strongly recommend you get out in your shop and try that. Thanks for watching today's video, and hope you learned a little bit about redoing furniture. Please give me a thumbs up and click that subscribe button down below and ring that notification bell. That way you're notified if any videos come up in the next little while that I do, and you won't miss any. Don't forget to click this video here, and have yourself a great day.